My name is John Passfield. The title of this reading will be John and the Universan, Video 9, A Visit to Machu Picchu, Part 2. So here is my book, John and the Universan. Two entities standing inside a beat-up old spaceship. Are they two spacemen? Are they two humans? Or are they one of each? Here's an explanation. On the way to visit Stonehenge, John wonders whether his English ancestors might have been involved in the building of that mysterious megalith. Suddenly, he finds himself being held prisoner in a spaceship by an alien who tells John that, despite government secrecy on his home planet, he's heard rumors that over many centuries his own ancestors have taken part in a series of major building projects here on Earth. Together, John and the alien embark on a tour of ancient sites, including Stonehenge, in search of their common ancestral roots. Well, they come to Stonehenge last because the spaceship has been programmed on the spaceman's home planet. Here they are at Machu Picchu, so this is the second part of their visit to Machu Picchu. We humans live by myths, M-Y-T-H-S. A myth is an idea pattern into which to fit information. We humans have information from the past of ourselves as individuals and of ourselves as a group. The information of the past we call our life experience. So every individual and every group has a myth, an idea pattern which explains, which makes sense of its life experience. These myths help us to evaluate the new life experience that comes to us as we move into the future of our lives as individuals and our lives as groups of people. So let's listen in on John as he and the alien, the Universan, continue the tour of Machu Picchu as John is given new information with which to think. Okay, so this is chapter 5. I'm looking for page 34. Okay, and the tour guide continues speaking. After the visit to Machu Picchu, our tour guide informs us, we'll return to Aguas Calientes, where we will enjoy an exquisite lunch, cost included, of course, in the authentic surroundings, whether of local or, if you prefer, more traditional food. After lunch, we'll explore that picturesque town, which has many craft shops featuring goods of local design. Then, at the time indicated on our tickets, we will take the train back to Ollantaytambo, where our driver will be waiting with the name of our tour group on a sign, and will then take us to our hotel in Cuzco, with 1930 hours as the approximate arrival time. So here, my earthling friend, is a history lesson, or perhaps I should say, using your language and your terms, a pre-history lesson. You should be ashamed to be an earthling, to have me see, as I read your mind, that you know so little about the lives of your own ancestors. I search your memory and I see nothing of these episodes at all. I don't know much about my own planet, but what I do know tells me that I know much more about my ancestors than you know about yours. By far, you here on Earth wonder who built the monoliths, megaliths, monuments. I see the question in your mind. I hear it from the people who visit these sites. Was it Earthlings or was it aliens? Well, let me tell you who it was, John, because I know. The great mystery for me, says one of the passengers on the train to Machu Picchu as he leans over the island and speaks, is simply this. If the site has been estimated to have contained about 750 people at its height, and since the terraces are so extensive that provided the crops on which these people lived, the priests and the other elites of the time, then Where did all the laborers who built the temples and extensive terraces come from? And where did they go? So, who built the monuments, John? Who were the ones who built them? Let me squeeze a few blunt realities into your mind. Was it earthlings, John? Was it aliens? Well, let me tell you, John. In fact, it was both. Your earthling ancestors designed these edifices and oversaw their construction, but my ancestors built these monstrosities as the earthlings watched. But my ancestors did not have superior technical instruments, as is sometimes thought by your speculating antiquarians, John. All my ancestors had, was their two bare hands. Their two bare, looked like a human, blistered and bleeding hands. My ancestors built these atrocities with their sweat and with their agony as they toiled under the broiling earthling sun. Do you get it, John? Do you get it? Yes, my ancestors came to Earth and built these gigantic, egotistical, preposterous, whimsical doodles expressed in stone. My people were brought here to Earth, John, to toil for your people, your elites, brought here by our elites as beasts of burden, mechanical objects, lowly slaves. So that's a little history lesson, a little prehistory lesson from an alien to John, a typical earthling. One of the problems of creating a myth is that we humans don't have access to all of the information of our past life experience. One of the great questions on the planet Earth for century after century has been, who built the great megaliths of the Earth? We have all these amazing large structures which were built in earlier times, but we have very little information as to how they were built, and in some cases no information as to who the people were who built them. So John is in the position of being an earthling who does not have knowledge about one of the most prominent features of the planet Earth, of the great monoliths that the alien, the Universan, has come here to find out about. So John is in an awkward position when the alien claims to know something about the planet Earth that John, a typical earthling, does not know. When we create our myths, we try as hard as we can to be faithful to what we know about our past life experience, our history and our prehistory, but often when we have a gap in our knowledge, we speculate as to what might be true about our past in order to be able to create a myth that will help us to evaluate new information. So the question as we read part 2 of the trip to Machu Picchu is, A, whether John should be skeptical about the information that the alien claims to be presenting about the earthly past, or B, should John take that information and make it part of a new myth about the planet Earth? So if you don't know something and you take in new information, what do you do with it? Do you build it into a myth, or do you discard it as not valid for a myth? So here again then is my book, John and the Universan, and Nothing is Known. It's available on Amazon, where you can get information about it. It's also available on my publisher's website, roxmillspress.com. And on my website, which is johnpassfield.ca, there are 2 free books. The planning notebooks, which I wrote as I was planning and writing the short novel, and the reflective journal that I wrote while I was polishing it. So there's 2 free books there. You can read them just by clicking on the cover icon at johnpassfield.ca. Lastly, I'll say thank you for watching this video.